The effectiveness of iReady on second grade students' academic literary success. As children enter into the new school year, factors such as motivation, student-to-teacher interaction, and learning tools have all emerged from virtual and blended learning. That's posing the question about the expansion of the achievement gap. Will virtual learning widen the achievement gap? Well, now the schools are back open, and school districts are investing in programs in which they strongly contend will elevate students to higher levels. The curriculum iReady is familiar among many school districts across several states. Those districts who have chosen iReady use it as a means for collecting data. Now the schools are back open and in person, learning gaps can be identified. For those school districts who have invested in iReady and the iReady system, it generates a learning path for the skills that kids are lacking. And the teachers and administrators reserve several times throughout the day for students to engage and complete their learning paths. iReady personalized instruction is also backed by research. So the problem this research study will address is the academic program iReady on poor academic achievement. So the problem was determined after evaluating several programs and their components. Phonemic awareness, phonics, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension are the 5 components of reading. Many reading curriculums and programs tend to build strong foundational skills in some components of reading, and the others are lightly mentioned. There are several aspects that challenge students in becoming literate. Reading and writing work together to define the term literacy. Reading is not natural, and writing has evolved over time. So the purpose of this research is to investigate the impact of iReady on second grade students' academic achievement. While it is evident that time is limited during the day to cover all subjects, time is also limited for teaching skills to students who have fallen victim to being a member of the achievement gap. The iReady program has both an instructional and online intervention component. While the instruction component targets the grade level skills, the online component creates a path for students to meet their individual needs. The path is predicated on the results from the diagnostic testing given at the beginning. So the research question that is posed for this research study is, what impact does iReady have on literary achievement of second grade students? Being that this is a quantitative study, a hypothesis must be yielded. There will be no statistically significant changes in the iReady performance and data of second grade students, or there will be a statistically significant increase on the iReady literacy data in the performance of second grade students. Some data to support that is, in figure 1, it shows that the gains of students who have used iReady program in grades K through 8. If we take a closer look at those second grade students, the data shows the second grade students who were selected for this particular research showed a 5% increase in their reading than those who did not use iReady. For those who do not use iReady, it ensures that the weakness or problem does exist. The students' lack of literacy skills create a gap in academic achievement. And the graphical representation here in figure 1 link with the context of the problem. The data clearly explains how the use of iReady increases the literary achievement of students, specifically second graders. This research holds true for students with various backgrounds, which can be seen in figure 2. Therefore, the academic program has shown to enhance the performance of students. The students show a decline in academic performance when they are not following their learning path created by iReady, which also aligns with college and career readiness standards. It exposes the skills that students are lacking for progressive academic outcomes. which brings us to the literature review and theoretical framework. Just like purposeful planning prevents poor performance, early intervention does likewise. This is referred to as the Matthew effect, and is simply explained as later intervention and remediation is less effective than early intervention. In essence, the prolonging of not intervening in areas of need deepens or widens the gap which has already been established. With regards to this study, the continuation of not intervening in literacy deficiencies forces students to fall further behind, which is widening the achievement literacy gap. One profound theorist by the name of Herbert Spencer spoke strongly on his perception of education and schooling. He was an advocate for teachers integrating science and technology within the classroom. Curriculum and instructional innovators is how he phrased it. As far as technology and the integration with literacy programs, it has become a dominant force in education. Just as time evolved, so did the use of instructional technology. For decades, technology has played a major role in educating students. Now students use computers, iPads, and even their phones to aid in their learning. While it is evident that literacy is a major issue in the K-12 setting, best practices should be in place. One researcher by the name of Richard Arlington concluded that classroom teachers hold enhanced reading proficiency or exemplary reading instructions in their hands. To make a statement clear, it is not a script or curriculum that aids in students' learning, but it is the teacher. His findings can easily be persuaded. Taking his research findings further, children need times, texts, tasks, testing, and teaching to make this all possible. Bridging the gap. In the digital world we live in today, children's motivation is enhanced through digital text. Before teachers can allow students to indulge in the digital text, it has to be explicitly taught, especially for those in the K-2 world. They need times to practice these skills explicitly and to just engage in the text by itself. So the steps in sequence within this study. First step was to complete CITI training, which is a collaborative institutional training initiative. Then we must gain permission to use archivable data. After gaining the consent to use this archivable data, you must get informed consent from the parents stating that their data will be used. After you have collected your data, you must collect and review the information that has been obtained and analyze it. The timeline, instrumentation, and limitations. So the data for this study was collected from August 10, 2020 to December 19, 2020. Second grade students from our urban area school were selected. The study will begin with the data collected after the administration of the iReady diagnostic assessment at the beginning of the first 9 weeks. And the assessment will be used to compare with the midterm results at the end of the study. The second grade teachers hold the responsibility for teaching the content and ensuring that the students follow their learning path and administering tests. In addition to teaching, students have set times to complete their learning paths each day. As far as the instrumentation for this study, the learning path is the only instruments that will be used in the testing method. for this study to calculate the literary achievement of second grade students. The collected data through the instruments will be reviewed both diagnostic and midterm and analyzed to analyze the growth and performance of the second grade students. The data from these assessments will be observed for validity, and no threats to the validity for this data shall occur. The only accounts that will be taken are the scores of the students. No backgrounds or information shall be released regarding the study. Some of the limitations are if the students are already behind a grade level or more, if they do not spend the recommended 20 minutes a day with their learning path, they will be affected by the continuation of low performance. Other than no time spent with the learning path, students will not have a negative impact on completing the learning path. Another limitation will be that the data in this study is shortened by the time frame that has been given. Further research is also needed to validate any extended results. And this study can only be conducted on second graders at one local elementary school. My name is Miranda Sanders, and this is my signature project on the effectiveness of iReady on second grade students' literary academic success.